Hello, thank you for joining me again. This is Pause Lesson 3, the hand model of the brain. Just going to share my screen with you. Today, we are going to be learning about the hand model of the brain. This concept will help you understand the connection between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. You will know that you're successful when you can recognize the difference between the balanced brain and the flipped lid, where the amygdala fires, what signals you receive from the brain when your amygdala is getting ready to fire, and how to calm your brain down. Here are some YouTube clips that you can watch from the PowerPoint with your students. Again, I highly recommend watching one clip at a time throughout the lessons and revisiting whenever you feel you need to. Here is the poster of the brain hand, and as you can see, we have the balanced brain where everything is together and the flipped lid where the amygdala is firing. Now I'll just explain to you the parts of the brain. So the thumb represents the amygdala, the guard dog, and the tops of the 4 fingers represents the prefrontal cortex or the wise old owl. Now when our brain is balanced, we have our amygdala calmly inside our head, our guard dog in the kennel, and we have the prefrontal cortex, the wise old owls, down together. And they're talking and communicating, and this is what we call a balanced brain. We need a balanced brain for learning and playing and being successful in our life. Now, sometimes when we have a big emotional reaction, what happens is we flip our lid. And our amygdala comes out, our guard dog is barking, he's out of the kennel, and our prefrontal cortex switches off. Our wise old owl has flown away. The only way to get back to a balanced brain is if the amygdala calms itself down by making some smart choices and using one of our pause processes, and then our owl comes back and we return to balanced brain. Let's explain this a little further for you. So how do we know if our amygdala is about to fire? Well, I have designed this little thing with some students called the pause detective. So basically, when our balanced brain is together and our amygdala starts to get a little unsettled, the brain starts to rock. And the amygdala sends us signals throughout our body. Some of those signals could be butterflies in your stomach, fast beating heart, hot-faced, sweaty lip, clenched teeth, tense fists, or wiggly bodies. And if that happens and you pay attention with your pause detective and notice that it's happening, you can put one of the pause processes in place. Shaking the mind jar, having a drink of water, taking some deep breaths, and that might be enough to turn your rocking brain back into a balanced brain. But if it isn't, you'll flip your lid. And if you flip your lid, it is up to you to then still put one of the pause processes in place to help the amygdala settle, to put the guard dog back into the kennel, and to bring the wise old owl back, prefrontal cortex, back to balanced brain. Now this page explains that quite well. And what I say to the kids, when your brain begins to rock, you have a space between the balanced brain and the flip lid. And that is where it's great to pause and put one of the processes in place. So if you're able to pay attention and notice one of those signals, and then take some deep breaths or have a drink of water, you should be able to retain your balanced brain. But if not, you flip your lid, you understand what's happening with your brain, and you are in control, because remember, it's your brain, it's your responsibility. So you can calm down by taking some deep breaths, having a drink of water, going for a walk, shaking the mind jar, and then your owls, your prefrontal cortex will switch on and everyone will be communicating again. If you are using the student booklet, there are 3 different levels for the children. There's a prep to 2, a 3 and 4, and a 5 and 6. You can work through that with the kids. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.